Hi, Tim Dorman here, and welcome to my Philadelphia backyard garden. This year I'm going to be recording my journey from start to finish as my garden progresses. So I invite everybody to come along and enjoy. Hopefully, we can learn something together. Let's get started. Right, so this year I thought I would try to get a jump start on some of my bulbs and some plants by starting them inside rather than just putting them in the ground and kind of having a longer wait time for them to sprout. So this year I went ahead and planted up inside. This here is a canna plant and it is starting to sprout, so I'm a little excited about that. This is a new plant for me this year. I've never grown a canna. And these right here are Dahlias, which again, this is another new plant for me. I'm very surprised and excited by how big this has already gotten. This is probably well over a foot tall. I just put this in a pot with some soil just to try to kind of get a jump start here, and boy has it ever got a jump start. I live in a one-bedroom apartment in Philadelphia. I don't have a lot of room, so I admit that these are too many plants in one pot. There are 4 plants in here. But again, it's just to kind of give them a jump start. And I will take them out of the pot and then plant them in the ground later. Speaking of Philadelphia, I just want to point out, I apologize, you are going to be hearing a lot of noises in the background. We are not a quiet city, and I live just on the edge of downtown, so you're going to be hearing tons of noises, so I apologize for that. Moving on, these are a whole bunch of elephant ears. Now I have 2 varieties in here. It's the same idea of just wanting to get a jump start, so I just put them in this incredibly too small pot just to kind of get them warmed up, hoping for a little growth. The time that it takes when I normally put them in the ground until I start to see some growth, it sometimes takes a while, so I'm hoping this will give them a jump start. And if I just pick up one here, you can see right here by my thumb, it is actually starting to sprout some roots, and then above my thumb again, you see a little greenness happening there. So with any luck, this maybe month jump start will help these plants grow a little bit faster. Although these elephant ears last year got incredibly big, so this may or may not be a good idea. We'll find out. These are Calladium. It's the same idea. Just hoping for some growth, a little bit of roots, but unfortunately nothing is happening with these. With all of these plants, I am always on the verge of probably giving them not enough water and then giving them too much, and they rot so easily, so I'm trying to err on the side of not enough. So if you're wondering why the soil looks like powdered dust, it's just because I don't want them to rot, and that's a real concern with these types of bulbs. So the other thing that I did this year was I tried to start some plants from seeds, and I'm not sure how successful this is. A few of them look like they're going to be fine, and then some of the other ones, they have definitely gotten too tall and too leggy, and they're falling over. And I think the reason for this is that I have them in this container, and then I put a large plastic bag over them to kind of create this greenhouse effect, and I left it on too long. And I believe you should take the plastic bag off as soon as they start to sprout, because when you leave it on, it causes them to kind of overstretch, and that is definitely what's happening here. This one is falling over because it's so tall. This is a Cardinal Climber. I've got a couple of them here in this 4-cell area. Hopefully, maybe 1 or 2 of them will survive. We'll see. These 8 in the back here, these are all snapdragons, and I honestly think those are just not going to be able to do anything. They've become too tall and too leggy. The most successful ones are probably these 4 right here. These are echinacea plants. So again, time will tell. Maybe we'll see them later on in videos, and hopefully they will have grown into healthy plants. The 4 next to the echinacea are bell vine plants, and they look pretty good. So out of this whole experiment, I'm hoping that the echinacea and the bell vine will be a success. With any luck, maybe one of the Cardinal Climbers. I also have lobelia back here, which aren't really doing a whole lot. It looks like we've got 2 little ones coming, so time will tell on those. Alright. Okay, so I briefly want to talk about this pink tree in my garden. This is a Prunus Kwanzan tree, which is a Japanese cherry blossom. I absolutely love this tree. One, because it's beautiful, it gets these lovely pink flowers on it, but also because it helps create different areas in such a small garden. So around the base of the tree, you'll see that I've planted a lot of hostas, which are shade-loving plants. And then just a little bit further out, you're going to see there's almost like a semicircle of plants starting here and then kind of wrap around this way. And this area, later on in the day, actually gets full sun. So thanks to this tree, I get the best of both worlds. I get shade and sun. Real quick, I'm just going to mention that all of these green spiky things that you're seeing in the sun area, these are various bulbs that I've planted, and I'm a little late with doing these videos, so I've missed some of the bulbs, some of the flowering bulbs this season. I have crocuses, I have hyacinths, I have grape hyacinths, which are still blooming. I also have some daffodils. So those are all of the bulbs that we've missed. Coming up, there are going to be some irises, some alliums. There is a magic lily in here. There's some daylilies. Oh, and there were some tulips over here that also have already finished blooming. So I've got a lot going on in such a small area. But again, all of this is thanks to this tree, which provides both shade and some sunny areas in the garden. So, like I mentioned, I really do love this tree, but it does have one drawback, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but it is snowing, it looks like. It has already started. What I refer to as the great pink snowfall has already started, and what happens is all of these flowers are going to have to come down, and they are just going to completely blanket this entire garden in pink fluff, which again, it looks nice, but what's going to have to happen is an entire tree's worth of flowers is going to fall down on these plants that have already started growing down here, and I'm going to have to go through and actually shake the flowers off the leaves to the ground, or I'm going to have to go through and actually pick some of them up and throw them away, because once all these flowers land on the leaves and then it rains on them, it creates a tremendous amount of weight on the leaves and kind of really flattens a lot of the plants down, and it's also just is not a good look once they turn brown. So that great pink snowfall has already started, and in a day or two this whole area will be completely pink, and I will probably be able to show you what that looks like, and I'll have to start cleaning up. And welcome to the aftermath after the pink flowers have all fallen off of this tree. As you can see, it makes quite the mess. So although a beautiful tree when it's blooming, I love all the shade it provides, it really does create a major mess. Let me kind of step back here just so you can see everything. And it is just littered in pink everywhere. So I will be spending some time shaking these pink flowers off of the hostas and some of these other plants, just so they don't kind of weigh them down, and once they dry, it also looks ugly. So let the cleanup begin.